Good morning and welcome to the On The Go Post Show for Thursday, November 5th. I'm Danielle Wiggins with Jasmine Monroe, Maureen Kyle, Holly Strano, Austin Love, and Dave Chudowski. We are your morning show, Go Team. And today we are 2 days out from the election. And what we want to know is, how is everybody feeling today? That's one of the things that's blowing up on our social media accounts. We're dealing with the unknown, the uncertainty right now. We all have to be patient to wait to see who will win the presidential election. Right now in the electoral vote, former Vice President Joe Biden is ahead. But again, we're still watching, no official winner declared yet. And so we want to know, how are you guys feeling? How are you dealing with this? A number of people are anxious, stressed out, especially on top of a pandemic. So what we want to do is come together, offer some really stress relief advice, and really just talk together as a family. So you guys out there, what are you seeing? So I know all of us pretty much stayed up all last night to track the election. And then we went home to our families and friends and our social media accounts. What are you guys seeing in your universe? Austin, we'll start with you.
I mean, it's like, as part as what have I been doing to relieve the stress?
No, just, what are you seeing, right now? I know it was.
I think there's a lot of tension. It's unheard of for so many of these things. This is just like a ridiculous election. There's so much pressure that's going on with everyone right now, and I think what's most concerning thing for so many is just the absolute uncertainty of what's going on, and that it's simply that we can't really do anything about it besides just kind of sit here and wait. And I think with anything, no matter what it might be, it's waiting. It's that waiting game, which is the hardest thing, and the uncertainty of everything. So I guess patience, we're all learning a valuable lesson of right now, and that's simply just being patient.
And Jasmine, for you, how is it like? You're out on the streets, you're talking to different people, Austin, you as well, but as a journalist, how is this, impacting you?
Personally, I have anxiety really bad. I've actually had anxiety throughout this whole pandemic, and this election doesn't make it any better. I don't think I've ever struggled with this as much. And Holly yesterday I was looking over some of Holly's stories about how she dealt with anxiety, and just being honest with people and talking to people. I think oftentimes I like to tell people I'm okay, and I'm really not. And I think this is the first time I've actually learned how to deal with a lot of things that are happening in my life personally, as well as at work and even in the world. So it's like, typically something's going well personally that I could put that over work or put that over what's happening in the world. And right now it's just like, for me, it's like everything is like
so awful to leave at this point, but I'll be back. I have to do radio.
She does radio at 7:10 every day, so she's not being rude. She's doing that for WTAM. Go ahead, Jasmine.
So baking used to be something that took my mind off of things. That actually hasn't been working. So now I'm like looking for other things to occupy my time, not watching the news as much. But the thing is, with our job, is we have to be indulged in this because we have to know exactly what is going on in the world. So it's a lot of things that are up in the air right now, and it's tough, but it's crazy. Like, we're crazy to be in this business because we secretly love it and then secretly hate it. So I don't know. It makes me happy. It makes me sad sometimes, but I wouldn't change it in the world. But it's definitely, I would say this is one of my hardest years for me personally.
Thank you so much, Jasmine, for being open and transparent with that, because a number of people can relate. And she's talked about Holly's stories that she did. Holly is also very transparent with her struggles with anxiety. And so when she comes back, she can talk a little bit more about that. Maureen, what are you seeing in your circles?
Oh, I mean, I think everybody's stressed out, and I think everybody is trying to figure out what exactly is happening. And I think, you know, I have a lot of friends who are detaching from opinion. And I think that is the most important thing is, you know, I think we all try to see everybody's reaction and what is everybody saying about the election and how does this side feel or that side feel? And when we start to just get overwhelmed with people's opinions or theories or the what ifs, and that, I think that kind of noise is what really stresses us out. And so it's really like, it's great to be informed. I think everybody needs to be informed with the facts, and a lot of that is being sorted out right now, but it's the opinion that if you're stressed out about it and you're feeling anxious, you gotta get away from that. And I loved, so we had Kathy Dawson on yesterday. This was an interview I did weeks ago, but something that she said, I just love her because she just brings everything back down to earth for everyone. And she said, we take ourselves so seriously. And it's a good point. Like, are you up for re-election? No. so like, take everything with a grain of salt here. Like, we're going to wake up the next morning. We're going to put our clothes on. We're going to go to work. We're going to take our kids to school no matter what happens. And so if it's something that is really stressing you out, you know, take a deep breath, realize that it's not you who is running for the White House. And, you know, just, I think there's certain things that you need to detach yourself from if it is affecting your life and your mental health.
Charles Jones II, I see you. Good morning. Kelly, Michelle, Jim Newman, Doreen Shutt. I see you guys. Good morning. Thanks for commenting. And Doreen, actually, she said that she would be okay with a fair and honest election. But in her opinion, she doesn't think that we got that. She's feeling upset about it. And again, those are different, you know, opinions out there, things going on. A lot of people, Shayla, I see she says they're still counting because Kelly asked who won. And we still don't know who won just yet. Right now, former Vice President Joe Biden is in the lead. And so a lot of times, and Holly, you and I talked about this morning on the 4:30 about anxiety. And a lot of times anxiety comes because you just don't know
Right.
what's going on. You don't know the unknowns, and people hate being in an unknowns because you can't make plans for that. And so, Holly, you've been a forefront talking about mental health. What are some of the things have you found through your reporting and through the stories that you shared that really helps people with anxiety and stress related to the unknown?
Well, Jasmine, first of all, I just want to thank you, going back to earlier, for, you know, being transparent, because that's really brave and it's not easy. And one of the hardest things for me was being okay with saying I'm not okay, because just because you're anxious doesn't mean you're not a positive person. And it took a while for me to become transparent, because I thought, oh, everyone will think, you know, what will they think of me? But I am positive, but that doesn't mean that I don't have anxiety, if that makes sense. So it was learning to be okay with not being okay some days. And as far as what helped me, talking, being open and talking with you, because I think the biggest thing is knowing that you're not alone. And sometimes it's really easy to feel like you are when you're in your own spiral, so to speak. So when you put yourself out there and, you know, you talk to others and all of you and our family here, it really does help. And the other thing that I always go to is just grateful, thankful. When I'm having those really, you know, difficult moments, and we all do, I just start reciting in my head out loud in the car, and it helps. It really does help, because it kind of reels you in. Outside of that, I think the other thing that I just want to emphasize is I am a work in progress. By no means have I conquered anxiety. I work on it every single day. And sometimes you will ask on social media, you know, how do you do it? And it's not easy. It's actually one of the hardest things to do, is to choose positivity sometimes. But what I always recommend is it's worth the hard work. And so you put the hard work into it and it pays off. And there's still ups and downs, but I think what I strive for is, you know, being in the middle, because we always have highs and we always have lows in life. But the key is not being up here always or here always. It's learning to be right here. because that's what's real life. Does that make sense, guys?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense trying to find the balance throughout life.
The balance. Yeah.
Jimmy Smith, good morning to you. I see you joining in. Allie Green, hello. Margaret, hello. Shayla, hello to you. Shayla Smith, she's actually joins us every day, and she says she loves all of you. She loves starting her morning with us. And we also did talk to a mental health professional who kind of said, gave some advice about getting out and doing something, and maybe volunteering, because at least you can have control over that. And then also maybe doing something with your hands, because if you work with your hands, then that actually works a different part of your brain. And as we are beginning to close, Dave, what do? You're dad, got 2 little girls at home, a beautiful wife. So how do you deal with the anxiety and stress of what's going on right now?
Well, funny you bring them up, because for me, that whenever I really am down and out about something, you have the girls and my wife to go home to. So for me, I'm fortunate in that regard. And really that gets me through, because no matter how down you are, there's a problem. I look at them and it seems to always make everything better. I think another couple things I want to throw out is, number one, I always figure when there's an issue, you're not alone. Okay. Yes. Everyone's going through it. You're not on your own island. We're, that all together type mentality. The other thing too is, let's be honest, we have no control over this. You cast your vote. That's the only thing you could do, is give your vote. You have, regardless of who wins, I'm going to go on in my life. It doesn't matter, really. I mean, yeah, there's certain things that matter, and one guy or one president can change how certain things are. But at the end of the day, I look back in my life and I'm like, I survived regardless who the president was. I mean, I made it through. So you just have to battle through it. And the thing that's a bummer right now, that I think the biggest thing is, we really are living in 2 different worlds. We really have 2 different sides. And that's what I can't wrap my brain around, is like, it's amazing how divided we are. But at the end of the day, I just feel like we'll end up coming together. I'm not sure when. And, I think that's probably the biggest things I can throw out there. Control what you can control. And that's your life.
Yeah. And as we close right now, as you said, Dave, it's really sad how divided we are. Kelly Michelle, she actually really seconds that. And we're glad that all of us, 6 of us, we come from different backgrounds, different places, and we all could get along. And so we hope that others can do the same. So we hope you guys have an amazing Thursday. We'll continue to track the election and let you know who wins as soon as we find out and it is confirmed. I see you guys kind of arguing in the comment section.
No, don't argue.
Please don't do that. Don't do that. Let's get out. It's not us versus them. We are one United States. Hopefully.
I love what Dave said about the kids, because I do the same thing. And I'm telling you, I take a walk with Jessica and Grady, and all of a sudden perspective is there. So just whatever that is for you, do it.
Yeah, find what that is. It could even be a podcast with someone that you love, just to take your mind off something.
It could be peanut M&Ms, whatever.
It could be whatever. Yeah.
M&Ms for everybody.
Milky Way, and it's been every morning for breakfast. I got to stop that.
All righty, you can see Dave, Maureen, and Holly during the Today Show in like 6 minutes. So have a great Thursday. We'll see you tomorrow on Go.
Bye, everybody. Yeah.